The Sega Mega Drive / Genesis was my first proper console, so you will forgive me, and you don't have a choice, for dipping into the foray of retro gaming, because I'm old-ish, quiet in the back. And after saying, bloody hell, this game's a bit shit for the past 4 videos, I figured it was about time I spent some time actually being positive about a game for a change. Because those games do exist, you know. Let's take Micro Machines 2 as the first example of how to take a simple concept and magically turn it into pure addictive gameplay. Because first of all, Micro Machines 2 is the best 2D racing game to ever come out on any console ever, and you should feel bad for thinking otherwise. And second of all, Micro Machines, oh my god, this game is, was, and forever will be amazing. Except for the Ferry Fiasco track, which my brother and I are never allowed to play on again. I'm fairly sure one of us smacked the other one in the face with a controller for playing this level. You might think I'm kidding. I'm probably not. Micro Machines 2 is quite simply one of the most insanely brilliant games that ever existed on a console. The saddest thought is knowing that basically the franchise has now died a death due to 3D. Basically. Look, V3 was good, but it wasn't classic. This game is classic, and it's been relegated to, what? Nothing. It's just gone. This is the kind of game that, should it ever make a return, could be amazing again. I know that Codemasters recently created Toy Box Turbos, and that is a genuinely brilliant game, but it's not Micro Machines because Micro Machines is Micro Machines. Replaying Toy Box Turbos made me very nostalgic. It made me want to play this game again. It made me want to play at those cartoon characters bouncing up and down on the ready screen. It made me want to race little cars around the breakfast table. I wanted to be one of those little characters again, and realistically, we lost that after the games went to 3D. Which is why Micro Machines 2 is fucking incredible. To the story! Way down in the land of Nib, a cruel sorceress stole 12 crystals and then promptly lost them because she's rubbish, and so you have to race around kitchen tables and beaches trying to get them all back in order to save your friends and a cat. Wait, what? What do you mean that's not the real story? Go back to school and learn your game BCs. Okay, Micro Machines hasn't got a story, but to be honest, if you really have to create a story behind a racing game, then what you're essentially doing is Fast and the Furious, only with better acting. There's a plethora of game modes to play through in the sequel. Micro Machines 1 really only gave you Championship mode and a head-to-head mode. The Turbo Tournament shenanigans gave you more than you could possibly bargain for, particularly in terms of multiplayer mayhem. If anything, the multiplayer mode make this game the genuine pleasure it is, and if you find me a better game on the Mega Drive to play with your friends, and a lot of them, then you're basically lying. There is nothing finer. Liar. If you've never played or seen a Micro Machines game, then you're either under the age of 8, or you've got really no interest in gaming, and the fact that you're watching this is probably because I made you. So here's a quick recap on what it is. Tiny cars, racing on proper sized things. There you go. Think of dragsters racing on toilet seats, ATVs in the garden, racing around flower pots and weird truck-like things falling off the table after slipping on spilt wine and getting knocked into the corner of a waffle. That pretty much sums up the on-screen experience. The off-screen experience is usually one of spoiled friendships, lost forever, split lips, bruised egos and faces, and a fair few screams of "Stop pushing me off the sponge, you dick! I'm gonna kill you and stab you in the pancreas, you giant dickweed! Sleep with one eye open! Ha 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 ha!" etc, etc. The usual gaming fare then, save for prickish insult hurling, usually reserved for FIFA and Call of Duty. Oh no, I didn't go there, but I did, and fuck you if you're one of those people. Micro Machines 2 promoted a healthy rivalry, and even though my brother and I hated each other when we played Ferry Fiasco, we did it in jest, and we did really like playing it. Really we did. The major bonuses that this game had to offer included the original Championship mode, a 25-track Grand Prix where you race against 3 other racers in a bid to qualify in first or second, as per the original game, and head-to-head mode where you battle it out to get as far ahead of your opponent so as to be the first to reach 8 points. Joining this pair of modes is my personal favourite, Super League mode. Essentially, the 16 characters are split into 4 leagues. Each league features 4 races, each worth 1 to 4 points, depending on your final position. At the end of the 4 races, the top scorer is promoted and the lowest scorer is relegated. Only quibble with it? Probably could have mixed up the races a bit more, but the fact that they've managed to choose an entirely new selection of tracks rather than use ones from other game modes is pretty good, really. Plus, there are more to spare. Like Ferry Fiasco. Oh, seriously, stop talking about it. Do you want my brother to smack me in the face again with the controller? Rude. Once you've raced around a few tracks in the single player mode and fallen off tool benches and kitchen tables and pool tables and into a pond or two or a bathtub, You get to fall off tool benches and kitchen tables and pool tables and into a pond or two or a bathtub in multiplayer mayhem that can involve up to 9 million people at once, provided you all touch the joypad and take some of the credit. Apparently there's a mode where 8 people can play at once, but to be honest, back in those days you'd be lucky to fit 8 people into a room around a TV the size of a hardback book. And nobody I knew, not even me, had that pleasure ever. But yeah, 8 players. If you know 7 other people, or at least 6, because you could always ask your brother to play, just not on Furry Fiasco. Ever. Mum would kill us if we did that again, although it was 20 years ago. I'm fairly sure he and I have mellowed since then. Maybe. Whatever, you ain't my mother. Character-wise, you can choose from a wide range of random characters. And Adina from Absolutely Fabulous. Because why not? Plus, Violet Berlin, once known as that woman who reviewed games on TV with straight-up white hair, who is probably still known as Violet Berlin, that woman who reviewed games on TV with straight-up white hair, only she's 20 years older. As are we all. Unless you're under 20, in which case, play this fucking game, you young bastards! So apparently Violet Berlin doesn't have white hair anymore, but she still occasionally does that reviewing game stuff that doesn't really exist on TV anymore, because apparently gaming TV doesn't work. No one wants to watch other people gaming. Ha 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 ha! How things have changed and all that. Insert PewDiePie reference joke here. Micro Machines 2 was once given a 100% for its gameplay element in a gaming magazine back in the day when those kind of things mattered, which basically means that anyone and everyone who played it loved it. And they are clearly right, because it is one of the most amazing games you ever did see, hear, smell, taste, touch, play, buy, verb, another verb, another verb, or final clearly better verb that is used to persuade you more than the others. And if that doesn't convince you, then wow, I'm clearly failing on so many levels. I should have kept that joke for a platform game, so I could have made a levels joke. Damn it. Childhood games are made of the kind of simple, easy to follow formula like this. There are no rules except don't bash your brother's car off the sponge on the Furry Fiasco track, and you just have to love this game for being one of the most amazing experiences to ever come out on the Mega Drive. Or the SNES, if you had that version. I never did like the character graphics on that version. Everyone looked all shaded and charmless. Instead, we had Spider looking like this, whereas the SNES had him looking like this. I don't know, man, it just looks a bit Blair to me. But either way, let's just sweep him under the rug and never speak of the dirty graphics on the SNES again. Or in Micro Machines 96 on the Mega Drive. They stole these character sprites, gave us 4 new characters in the old style, which looked ridiculously out of place, and made no sense, but I'm not bitter about it, you are! Stop making such a big deal about it. It was 20 years ago, let it go! Without sounding too biased, which I totally am, but that's why it's an opinion for now, Micro Machines 2 is by far the best game in the series. 1 was fun, 96 was fun, Military was a shitstorm of crap that faded away with good reason. Seriously, that game made me wince in pain. I mean, few games give me the fearsome thought of turning one of the most beloved games in history into a mess of crap, where everyone could shoot each other, and you had to deal with that awful jet fighter level that killed everyone because the other 3 racers knew how to brake properly, and basically that game sucked, and let's be honest, the SNES did well not to get that game because it was awful. I can't believe I'm even mentioning it in the same breath as this glorious beast of a game. But seriously, if I could plug my Mega Drive into the TV I have now, I'd be having parties on this game because this game is the shit. And now I want to buy some Micro Machines cars and just race them around my flat on tracks made from spilt salt and dry spaghetti. And I don't even like spaghetti, but I love Micro Machines, so I would buy spaghetti just for that reason. And if that's not love, then I don't know what is. No, you want to have miniature racing car sex.